What's good? It's your boy JayThat'sMe. We're going to get into TNA Impact from July the 10th, 2025. A pretty okay show. But we're also going to do something a little bit unorthodox. We are going to talk about Evolution, because Evolution is going to involve some TNA knockouts. So why not tack that on to the review instead of just doing a separate video talking about Evolution. So we are going to get into the Evolution predictions. TNA this week was pretty okay for the most part. I enjoyed it. Slammiversary is next weekend, and that's going to be a massive show. It's really their version of SummerSlam versus WrestleMania. Their WrestleMania is bound for glory. So, yeah. Alright, so we kick the show off with the Elegance brand, which is Heather and Ash by Elegance. They defeat Harley Hudson and Myla Grace. Myla Grace and Harley Hudson, they remind me of Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, I guess because of their thick Scottish accents. So, there's that. The Elegance brand winning was the right decision, basically. So, there's that. So that's cool there. Moving on, this leads us into a backstage segment with the... No, my bad. No, it didn't. I'm sorry about that. This leads us into Cedric Alexander in the Good Hands versus Mustafa Ali's Secret Service Detail. So Cedric Alexander gets the win, obviously, via the lumbar check. So Tasha Steelz, she comes out and she low blows Cedric Alexander, and then Mustafa Ali blast Cedric Alexander in the back with a steel chair, which was great. So this was all a ruse. She played everyone, and this is great. So I am digging this. This is really good stuff here. Again, Cedric Alexander being in TNA is great. I'm loving the Mustafa Ali Cedric feud. And really and truthfully, Tasha Steelz being a heel is best for business. Because Tasha Steelz, she's not really been that relevant in basically about a year and a half, almost 2 years. She became Knockouts champion back in 2022. I think she was in Knockouts champion, I think also in 2023. But for the last year and a half, she's not done much of anything. And this storyline has really done wonders for her. So, I like this, and I'm interested in seeing where this is going. Moving on. So, this leads us into Lei Ling Ling, a.k.a. Xia Li, and Masha Slamovich. They defeat JC Jane and Fallon Henley, which is great. So I think it was Fallon Henley who took the pin, obviously. So that makes the most sense. Masha wins via the snowplow. I'm really digging what they're doing with Masha. So apparently it's going to be a title for title at Slammiversary next weekend. I presume that Jordynne Grace is going to win, obviously, on Sunday at Evolution. And she's going to end up beating Masha and becoming a dual champion. She'll be TNA champion, TNA Women's champion, TNA Knockouts champion, and the NXT Women's champion. So great for Jordynne Grace, really good shit there. I'm proud of her. I think in due time, WWE will probably come knocking on Masha Slamovich's door in due time, because she's only signed a 2-year deal with TNA. Masha is still relatively young. I think she's like in her, I want to say mid-20s. I want to say she's like 25, 26, maybe 27. But she's still young, so yeah. Next, this leads us into a brief TNA injury report about, who's still injured, which is Trey Miguel from the Rascals. He's got, I think he's dealing with a hernia. And so Myron Reed, he's going to be taking the reins of the Rascals, which is great. So good shit there. So that's cool. Then we get Moose and Leon Slater in the system. I'm like, oh no, fuck this. So Leon promises Moose that he's going to bring him the toughest fight he's ever had, and he vows to become the youngest X Division champion at Slammiversary. So that's cool there. I like this. Again, Moose sucks ass along with the rest of the system. So then this leads us into the triple threat match for the TNA International Championship. Steve Maclin wins. He defeats Jake Something and Mance Warner. I don't give a damn about any of this shit. I'm a fan of Jake Something. I really am. Steve Maclin, not so much. Again, he's a problem. He really is. He's a massive problem. Meaning he's not good. Like, I don't like Steve Maclin. I mean, he's okay. He was okay. But now he's just boring and bland as a face. Well, I wouldn't even call him a face. I'm saying he's more like an anti-hero, if we're being honest. But, I don't know, man. Again, I don't care about Steve Maclin. Jake Something, man, at some point, he just needs to say fuck TNA and just go to NXT, honestly. I'd love for him to be in NXT. I think he'd kill it in NXT, if we're being honest. Moving on. This leads us into the Order 4 segment. So we go to the parking lot. So Mustafa Ali chases after Tasha Steelz. He asks her what was that earlier on tonight. Tasha Steelz then goes on to reveal that it was a plan she had devised secretly all along. Tasha said she knew if she called Cedric Alexander, he would come running to save her. She says now that Mustafa Ali has a match at Slammiversary against the one guy he's never been able to beat, his former 205 rival, and the man everyone and the man that everyone says is better than him, Prime Cedric Alexander. So the Great Hands, they're confused and they're angry. So Tasha then yells at them to pipe down, and she points out the amount of zeros on their check compared to the past. She says an organized Order 4 is the most dangerous group in the world. So then the system, their sorry asses, they show up, and then basically there's a back and forth that happens, and there's going to be a match between the system versus 205 Live. Versus the Order 4. Man, fuck this shit. Like, fuck it. Again, I love the Order 4. This is great. I despise the system. Fuck the system. Seriously, they suck. They do. I like JDC. I really do. But everybody else, Eddie Edwards, Brian Myers, nah, fuck them. Moving on. So, and then we get a really weird vignette by Fourth Rope, which is Enzo, which is great. That was so fucking awesome. So he's going to be working for TNA, which is excellent. Really, really good shit there. I was like, holy shit, it's Enzo. So Fourth Rope appears on his custom made. He appears with his custom title in hand. So he does his usual stick from years ago. So he continues to rant and rave. And then he talked about his past shenanigans at Madison Square Garden as a reminder and a warning of what he's capable of when he goes off. Okay, so I like this. This is interesting here. More of this, please. This is great. I am so glad that TNA got Enzo Amore. Really, really good shit. That is perfect. Perfect. I'm shocked that Tony Khan didn't get him, but, you know, W. Morrissey's not being pushed in he's not being pushed in AEW, if we're being honest. He's not really doing much of anything. I think he's like on Collision. He has not been relevant in probably about maybe 3 or 4 months. I can't remember the last time on Dynamite I've seen him. It's been a while. All right, moving on. So, this leads us into Indy Hartwell defeating Victoria Crawford, a.k.a. Alicia Fox, with Tessa Blanchard on commentary. So, then post-match, Indy Hartwell is about to head to the back. Tessa Blanchard gets on the mic, and she vows to beat her at Slammiversary. Good shit there. Good stuff. Excellent. Moving on. This leads us into a brief segment involving Santino Marella and Eric Young. So, Eric Young says that he wants to prove the fact that Diener is really the hometown man, really. And that was it. I don't give a fuck about any of this shit. I really don't. This is a bunch of bullshit. Fuck Eric Young. Fuck Eric Young. Fuck Moose, Brian Myers, Eddie Edwards, excuse me, and the rest of them. Like, these guys are not needed. Just make these guys producers and move on. Same thing for Eric Young's faction. Get rid of them too. Or just send them all to Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling. Just do that. Please. Moving on. So, there's a sit-down interview with Joe Hendry and Tom Hannafin. So John Henry talks again about how the fans are the reason he became who he is today. He says they were there for him during his ascension. They were there when he stumbled. They'll be there next weekend when he recaptures the title and brings it home to TNA. So then this leads us into the main event. The Hardys and the Rascals versus the Nemesis and First Class. I did not watch the match because I don't care about this at all. And I've already seen one 8-man tag, and that was on AEW with, Will Ospreay and company. I don't want to see another one. I really don't. And this really should have happened at the start of the show, really. So basically, the Nemesis, they win, basically, and that was it. So, there's that. Trick Williams, he gets involved. He gets involved, basically. And then Mike Santana comes out. There's a brawl that ensues there, and then Joe Hendry comes out and makes the save, and that was it. So, there's that. It's not really that important. The triple threat match at Slammiversary for the main event should be fine. Slammiversary seems to be hitting the ball out of the park. It's looking quite good. Oh, I forgot to mention that Mike Santana had another backstage vignette. So he didn't really say much of anything, but really good stuff there. Again, TNA is making it extremely obvious that Mike Santana is going to win next Sunday. And that actually makes perfect sense. Why would Joe Hendry win and why would Trick Williams retain? I have a theory that Joe Hendry is going to lose. He's going to be the one to take the pin. And then I would imagine maybe Trick might go after Oba. And I think that's what's going to end up happening. But Mike Santana is going to win at Slammiversary next Sunday. All right, there's that. So TNA was pretty okay. All right, let's get into the Evolution predictions, shall we? So there are 7 matches on the card. It's going to be in the State Farm Arena, which holds, I want to say, for hockey, for basketball, it can be $20K. For hockey, it can be between $18 and $17K. And then for concerts, it can be $18K. I think they have it out for about, I want to say, $5,000 or $6,000, which is very, very, very low. That's not good. Them trying to compete, my bad. I was going to say them trying to compete with AEW is the reason, but not really. It's just WWE's competing against themselves, which is not good. I mean, you got 3 shows, so, there's that. But we've got 7 matches on the card. And it should be an okay show. So, we're going to start off with Tiffany Stratton versus Trish Stratus for the WWE Women's Championship. Tiffany Stratton's going to retain, obviously. The match should be good, though. Moving on, Jade Cargill versus Naomi, no holds barred. Jade Cargill's going to win. So, I mean, why wouldn't she? Moving on, Becky Lynch versus Bayley versus Lyra Valkyria. Triple threat for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Becky Lynch will retain. Why would she lose here? Bayley winning would be a disaster, and Lyra, no. Fuck no. Let's get into the Fatal 4-Way for the Women's Tag Team Championships. Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez from the Judgment Day versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss versus Ruka and Zarya versus the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane. I think Judgment Day is going to retain. Why would they lose here? But if you wanted to cause some tension, I would do Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. But I think that they're going to have Judgment Day retain. But as a dark horse, I'm going to pick Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss as a dark horse / dark factor if something does happen. All right, moving on. So JC Jane versus Jordynne Grace for the NXT Women's Championship. Jordynne Grace is obviously going to win here. This will probably be the co-main event, I would imagine. So there's that. Moving on, the Battle Royal for a World Championship match at Clash in Paris. I'm going to go with Stephanie Baker winning the whole thing, so yep. And we should get some surprises in there too. Main event of the evening, Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. Rhea Ripley is going to win, obviously. That's just simple as 1, 2, 3. If we're being honest, I'm not going to hold you guys up. Like, seriously, come on. So, those are my predictions for Evolution. But TNA was pretty decent. Slammiversary should be fun. And I think that the go-home show for that show should be fun, too. So, hopefully next week's show is good, and hopefully Evolution is good. I think some surprises will happen. We'll get some returns, obviously. But we'll have to wait and see how things play out. But what did you guys think of TNA? And what are your predictions for Evolution? Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.